It was the 1990s, a big show in a small town off I-75 in Georgia. They were called the biggest cocks in the henhouse. But things have changed since then. It's been 30 years, and they finally found a home here, like everyone else, doing a podcast. It's Erica and Mark, the phone call podcast thing.
Hello.
Who's this?
This is, I don't know. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, now who's got Alzheimer's? Both of us.
What am I wearing today? It's like, it's a little busy.
Yeah, it's very busy for me as well. It usually is, though. I'm kind of used to it. I like it this way.
You know, actually, the busier I stay, I've volunteered myself and into multiple things, and I'm too busy to get in the way of my own safety.
Well, I'm certainly glad that you've taken time to make time for me on this phone call / podcast.
Well, this is part of my busyness.
Right. Hey, Cove, if my friend Mark is too busy to do the podcast today, do you think you could be available for, say, 45 minutes or so?
I'd love to. What do you want to chat about?
Oh, boy.
I mean, we'll figure that out after we hang up on Mark. Give me a couple seconds, okay? And you come up with some ideas on current events in the news and wacky stories of how people died in interesting ways.
Got it. I'll brainstorm some topics. Take your time.
Oh my God, he's so much nicer than you.
Well, that's because you pay him.
I guess I kind of do. He kind of comes with the phone, but I do pay him extra.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he's on standby. Should you have volunteered yourself away from having the time for our time together, Mark? If you'd like to neglect me, I will replace you with AI.
Oh man, I got that little project that I did, and it was like, man, I thought it was gonna be, it's something simple. It just takes
Sure.
takes you an hour or so to put together a log, and that's it. And I was getting really well because I started with 5 days ahead. Mm-hmm. Then here getting wheeling. Now I'm actually doing today's log. I mean, doing a log today for tomorrow.
Well, hold on. What are you doing logs for? For what?
My Serenity cast.
Oh, okay. So not commercial log or promo logs.
No, these
music
are just
logs, or
podcast and trainings and things like that for people that are in recovery.
So you're helping the kids, is what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, some of them are not. They think they're still kids, but they're not.
I'm one of those people who thinks they're still a kid, even though I'm in my mid to late 50s.
Maybe in a playful way, but not the ones that still think it's okay to drink up and dope up all the time.
Oh yeah, no, that's not. My biggest problem is I hurt my back on Saturday and I still haven't recovered from it.
How?
I don't know. I rode my bike about 15 miles, which I have done many times before.
Right.
And then when I woke up on Sunday, I was like, oh, I can't stand up straight. What the hell?
Where's the pain? What part?
My whole lower back. I don't know if I slept wrong or if I hurt myself riding the bike too far.
Does it hurt going into your butt cheek?
No, it's just my lower back, but it goes all the way up the middle of my back. It's just a muscle, or it could be, arthritis. I don't want to think that this is arthritis because it happened quickly.
Yeah, because I have a sciatic issue with my back, but it doesn't always flare up. But I was going to say the best way I found out to get rid of it, if you can do this for one night, and know it's annoying, but if you can sleep in a fetal position on your back, or fetal position, but on the floor.
Oh my God, I couldn't.
And put a pillow between your legs.
Huh.
For whatever reason, when I do that,
welcome to Senior Talk with Erica and Mark today.
Off the nerve.
Where Mark's advice will be
to get away from pain because I'm super scared of all the drugs they put out there for pain.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to start that roller coaster again.
That's a whole other meeting. You're going to have to go to NA. And I don't know if you have time for that.
I'm going to tell you, because I know people that have actually gotten car wrecks and things like that and got themselves on painkillers.
Oh, me
and
too.
then ended up dead.
Yeah, me too. I'm very good friends with two of them who used to be very good friends. And that's exactly what happened. These were people who would never touch drugs or alcohol before. And a couple of car wrecks. And one of them died. I think, how old was he? 42, 43?
Oh,
yeah.
So sad.
I know. It was awful. He was one of my favorite people. But these things happen.
It's so easy to get your stuff caught up in that thing too, man. I had a friend of mine that would occasionally have a beer and occasionally smoke a joint with people. And he was in radio too, and
So was my friend.
very mellow a kid. And all of a sudden he called me one day and says, "Hey, I'm about ready to lose my apartment. I need a favor." And I said, "Well, what's that?" He says, "Can I crash with you guys for a while till I get my act together?" "Well, what happened?" "Well, I'm a little embarrassed, but blah blah blah. I had teeth work done, and next thing you know, he's on, and now I'm addicted." I go, "Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. You can do that, but you're going to have to do something about that, though." So I
Right.
talked him into going to that that place that's over in it's a hospital. It's over there in Fort Myers that works with like a rehab.
Okay.
Or it is a rehab hospital, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And he went there for 6 weeks, and then he stayed with me for about 3-4 months.
So so you saved him. So we put him on the list.
Yeah.
Put him on.
That's a good one.
You're doing what they call the Lord's work.
Well, somebody did that for me. I don't. No, you never met my friend Mark because when I met you, I hadn't caught up with him in a long time. I don't even know if he's still alive. I tried to find him. I can't find him.
What, Mark from way in the past, Mark?
Yeah, like he was the guy that let me stay at his house when I was getting clean.
Oh, interesting.
So I picked up my 37-year chip like a week ago.
Jesus, how big is that? Is it heavy? Is it heavy?
It's metal. It's nice. It's fun.
Oh.
If you were on Facebook, you would have seen that, but I know you
Yeah,
don't go to Facebook.
Nah, I don't give a shit about that.
I usually don't put them up there, but I just felt like I needed to put it out there for some reason.
Yeah, of course.
Not
No,
to
you can
brag
be.
about myself, but let people know that you're just
No, that's
this crap.
You can seriously be an inspiration to others. Then that's what you should do, and that's a pretty easy thing to do. And this has been Recovery Talk and Old People Talk with Bad Backs and Drugs with Erica and Mark.
So what's going on with you this week? Anything exciting besides your back?
No, man, I've been really trying to lay low because it hurts.
Wow.
I know. I have nothing to talk about other than I have been sitting in front of my computer working, or I got to the point where on Monday and Tuesday I had to take my laptop and go lay on the couch with it. And I was working on my laptop from the couch.
Well, I'm going to how's your posture from your computer work and all that and phone?
I mean, it's really not too bad. I don't sit here for hours and hours at a time. I make points to get up and walk around and look out the window.
I see you got a good chair.
Yeah, and I have a great chair. Brian got
You
me
got
this
the good
chair.
kind. Yeah, I see
this is
that.
a very expensive, comfortable.
Did you buy that, or was that
lower back
from the
chair.
work?
This was a gift from a certain big voice friend of ours who is on this show.
Yeah, that's a great chair.
Yes.
That's the kind you can. Yeah, that's got the posture correction and everything on it, right?
That boy is a great gift giver. He got me a great birthday present too. He
What
got
was it?
me.
Can you say it?
It was. Let's just say it involves sucking.
Oh gosh.
It's a vacuum cleaner. It's a robot vacuum cleaner mop.
I know. Wait a minute. Before I give an old boy, but it came out too quick.
The hell did you? I can't believe you, Mark. You need to. If you were Catholic, I would make you go say Hail Marys right now. That's still a punishment for sin, for having impure thoughts, Hail Marys?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it probably always was.
I think he had no. You used to have to do 10 Hail Marys and 10 Hail Fathers and an act of contrition.
Jesus, that sounds exhausting. It sounds exhausting being Catholic. There's a lot of rules, man. It's like learning how to play Dungeons and Dragons is as complicated as being Catholic.
Yeah, it could be. I was just talking to somebody the other day. I think it was Kathleen. I was talking to her. I said, it's just. I was saying that I think I go to church a lot now, but I said, no. When I was in elementary school and in the Catholic school system, we went every day of the week.
Oh,
except for Saturday. We went Monday through Friday. And then Sunday, when we went to church on Sunday, we had to check in with the nun and let her know. So that was part of our attendance.
Oh, my God.
So, if your parents didn't want to miss them, there was none of that. Or you get marked against your attendance.
So what was the punishment? You get a beaten on your hand with a ruler or what?
I don't know, because I made up so many stories about that time. I don't even know what's actually the truth anymore.
How many grandparents died? Did you lie to the nuns about?
Oh, I know. No, I don't lie about that. I lied about how I was treated. I know that they were rough. I know there was corporal punishment. There was a lot of things we had to do. There was actually, no joke, rice on the floor that you kneeled on.
Okay. Why would they do that?
That was just like a punishment.
Oh.
You ever see those? They still make. I don't know if they still make them or not because I don't think everything's plastic now. They used to make rulers out of wood,
Yeah, sure.
and there was one that was like a shape of a triangle,
Yep.
and it had different measurements on each side.
Yeah, yeah. It's got a hole in the middle. It hurts real bad.
Yeah, you get hit with that.
Yeah.
There was a stool that was in the corner that you had to face the wall.
Did you have an actual dunce cap, or was it just go stand in the corner?
No, go stand in the. Well, it's actually you got to sit in the corner. But you stay in the whole corner. Yeah.
So for how long do you got to stay in the corner?
I don't remember how long those things last. I just
Mark,
know
I'm
that
starting
was
to figure out.
There was also one where
a lot
you
of
had
things.
to. They turned something that was a butt kissing thing into a punishment. That was where you had to do the blackboard and clean the erasers.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
At one time, that was how you moved up in ranks by volunteering to go.
Right. Become teacher's pet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that by the way, that gets you a noogie, or a Indian sunburn, or a wedgie. But I don't know what they called them back then.
I think they called them wedgies.
Were they wedgies?
Back, yeah. You went to school when everything was still black and white, but I think that's a black and white term. Wedgie. I'm starting to understand now maybe why you turned to drugs and alcohol, because of all this abuse you sustained at the hands of the church.
Now the weird thing was, and I can't figure this out. I don't know if I want to know, but it's a slight memory in my head that somewhere around kindergarten or first grade, I was going to a Catholic school in Riverside, New Jersey.
All right.
And all of a sudden, I was abruptly taken out of that school and taken to a Catholic school in Beverly, New Jersey, which was the next town over.
All right. I'm gonna ask you this in the most gentle way.
Go ahead.
Was either one of your parents banging somebody in that church?
No, because we didn't even go to that church.
Okay.
I was just going to school there.
Okay, because we had those things happen at my church when we were kids too. There was a preacher was banging one of the deacon's daughters.
Well, I know sometimes there's what worries me is with all the things that they talk about, with how many kids were molested. I just don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe they were looking for fresh kids at the other place.
I was thinking that maybe I got rushed out. There's something bad must have happened.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's something bad had to happen. I know my mom.
Right. I'll tell you what happened. A bunch of kids got molested. They had to get those kids the hell out of there before they told it to. And they got to bring in a fresh set of new kids. And that was you.
My mom was very even-tempered. Even when she was mad at me or whatever, she would get up there in the octaves, but very even-tempered. Unlike my dad, that would be really nice until he was pissed. And that was
until he was done. Yeah, there was hot and cold.
But my mom was, and then she had her voice, and she was scolding, and I never seen her ever scold a priest. I think it was the head. Whatever.
She was yelling at the priest.
Yeah, I forgot what you called them. There was Monsignor, I think it was called.
Something happened, man. Something bad
That's
happened
what I
with
think.
With one of the kids.
I also remember that I was. Somehow I remember, and this could be a dream, but I remember walking across a train track from school. Like I missed the bus.
This is scaring me.
Yeah. And I had to walk across. It was called the Rancocas Creek. But
So what happened?
But the thing was, it wasn't really a creek. It was like a fast-moving river.
Okay, and then what happened? Was there a priest over there saying, "Come to me"?
No, I just remember that I had to go across that thing, and I got halfway through and realized as a train track, I got nowhere to go if a train comes.
Oh, you're gonna be trapped with the priest.
And I must have been like 7 or 8 years old doing that. I mean, that's just, as a boy, you don't think until it's too late.
Catholic school sounds real dangerous.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
a lot of ways.
I was kind of. The only thing I didn't like about going to public school was there was no nun to protect you from the bullies.
Oh, the beatdowns, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's because the nuns were doing all the beating. So what's worse, getting smacked around by a nun and crawling around on rice, or maybe getting your lunch money stolen?
I got a bit about this that we're going to talk about a little bit later on. But I did go to school in the time when in public school they would whoop you too.
Oh yeah, me too.
So
I cannot tell you how many times I got my ass beat. I remember getting my ass beat once by Mrs. Stifler, who was hitting me with a ping pong paddle, and she hit me so hard that it broke on my ass. And I just looked at all the wood fly and went, bah! Which just made her madder.
Oh, yeah.
Because, yeah.
You know who
I think
in middle school? You know who did the corporal punishment?
who?
The gym teachers.
Ooh.
And these are all frustrated. Think about a gym teacher. I don't mean to insult anybody, and I'm sorry if I am, but they look
Lesbians?
like I was somebody. I'm really big. I'm really tough, and I didn't make it in the NFL
Oh yeah.
or professional wrestling. So someone's going to get ass whooping.
So I went to public school, and my gym teacher in elementary school was the preacher's wife at my grandparents' church. So she knew who I was, and oh my God, battle axe. Oh, just a scary.
Yeah, gym teachers were kind of mean.
Yeah, now they got these hot gym teachers, and you wonder. You see all these stories in the news about these, like, what? There's a hot 27-year-old girl who's banging one of the students. I mean, that would have never happened back in our day because it was like, no, we're not doing that. No,
No,
the kid would have.
just be, the button would go off and say, no, that's just
The kid
not
would have been
right.
like, thanks, no. I'm not even going to tell anyone about this because I don't want them to know.
People used to have common sense, but they don't anymore.
No, they don't. And, well, you know what? There never used to be hot teachers either. And
Well,
now
there was
there
a
are.
time in your life. There's always a time in your life, and you can probably know when you think about it, about what time it started, when it became no. But there's a time in your life when your privates do all your thinking.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
You don't remember when your private decided this is what this is worth the trouble.
Yeah, years ago. No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's
I always had a
you
little
grow
bit of
up, you realize that you're actually in charge of your private.
See, I had a little bit of inner conflict about all that stuff, so they never really ruled,
okay.
never really ruled my
about
life.
that.
So yeah.
So were you celibate?
Oh God, yeah, until I was 19.
I talked the big game, but I didn't have sex till I was over 18.
No, I didn't do anything.
I was out of high school.
Hardly anything.
Way out of high school.
Yeah, it was always awkward and weird for me. Didn't super like it.
Well, I think that's what makes me wonder about my the past, because it's like I had a really awkward relationship with everything and everyone.
Yeah, that's because you got the nuns beating the shit out of you your whole life.
It's funny, you know what built up my confidence? When I started building up confidence is when I worked at, you remember, I don't know if you remember JW's when you were in Fort Lauderdale.
JW's.
It was out off of University Drive and
I only lived there for a little while. Fort Lauderdale's a distant blur to me.
now you remember Penrod's though.
Oh yeah, I saw the Butthole Surfers there.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when I worked in those clubs and stuff, all of a sudden I got to be to the point where I was okay to I felt had confidence. Mm-hmm. And then it's like it's somebody turned on a faucet and then walked away.
Yeah, and then you got that snowy confidence, which got to get right.
And then add booze to it.
Little
Next thing you know, you're a hot mess.
Yeah, a little South Florida snowstorm followed by a couple of shots. Good to go. Let's get it on.
Now you know why I'm in meetings.
Yeah. Yeah, probably don't tell a lot of those stories though. Probably keep those to yourself.
I stopped telling them now. I don't. They just pop in my head every once in a while. I forget about them until something comes up. I was looking at this thing. They were talking about things that, I guess basically things that happened when we were younger that didn't kill us, so it must have made us stronger.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. All right, we'll talk about that coming up in just a minute.
All right.
Erica and Mark. The phone call.
Oh, I have something that didn't kill me that did not make me stronger.
Okay.
Crash of my motorcycle. That hurt really bad and made me not allowed to ride motorcycles anymore.
So did you crashed on the street you were a dirt bike rider?
Well,
weren't you?
I've crashed many motorcycles in many ways, but the worst one was I was riding on a dirt road, and I think I was 15, and I was riding behind my friends on their dirt bikes, and I didn't have I didn't have my full face helmet, and I didn't have any eye protection. So I was kind of hanging back, and I was going about 40 miles an hour, slowing down, and boom, head on right into a pickup truck. And I flew probably 100 feet behind the pickup truck is where I landed. My body crushed the gas tank of my bike. The front forks just about snapped in half. My shoes got ripped off of my feet, and I broke both of my legs. Just cracked one of them. Broke my
How
right
fast
leg.
were you going?
I don't know, 35, 40. Broke my right leg in 3 places,
Wow.
clean through. and just cracked my left leg. So that was 6 months in a cast and on crutches. And then I promised my grandparents I'd never get another motorcycle. And I've always wanted another motorcycle. I'm not saying I haven't ridden motorcycles, but I did keep my promise. I never bought another motorcycle. It's very difficult because I like motorcycles. You know, you're in a gang, for Christ's sake. Mexican gang.
Motorcycle riding club.
Yeah, you better be careful, man. Trump's rounding you up. Mexican gangs.
They may mistake me for one.
They're going to ask you, were you ever in a Mexican gang? They're going to say no, and they're going to say, explain these pictures here, Elvez.
Yeah. I still have my vest.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, and so you literally wore a cut, but did you ever run into...
Do you want to see it? I'll go.
Oh
get it.
No, I've seen it. I just can't believe that you used to wear it. So did you ever run into like the Outlaws or any of those other guys?
No, because you made deals with people to let them know that hey, you asked permission from them.
Yeah, right.
And then you were allowed to, but like certain times, like if you went to one of their rallies or something like they would have like like a party at a clubhouse or whatever.
Yeah.
You would come in regular shirt, no
right,
vest.
Okay,
that way you don't disrespect them,
right?
And their thing, and then if you were going to go to
it's a whole gang mentality thing,
yeah, and if you went to a like a funeral for somebody with them,
yeah,
your best bet was not to wear your cut, because if you do, and they're mad about it, trouble. We had a guy that was at a strip club, and he was wearing his vest and getting drunk, and guy just from I forget which one it was, one percenter said to tell him to take it off. You're in the wrong bar for that.
Yeah.
And he mouthed off.
Oh Jesus.
So he got his butt kicked really bad.
Yeah, but that makes all of you look bad.
Though. So we took his vest from him because that's what they told us to do, and we were going to do it anyway. But then, man, it was like for like 30 days we were not allowed to be wearing them at all. And then finally, the president went and met with the other president, and they patched things up, and we apologized and. Whew. And then we were back to okay again. So you got to be real careful. You know what though? That stuff. It's very serious.
You know what? I'll give you guys credit. You got a code. You adhere to the code.
Yes, there's rules, just like there's rules in prison. There's rules, and you got to know the rules.
I understand it. I respect it. I got no problem with it. If that's what these guys want to do. Seriously, the rules are rules.
Just like if you're riding on a road and you just pull in front of like a group of motorcycles, that's not a good thing. Or if you pull in the middle while a group, that's not a good idea. No. If they're coming behind you, guaranteed, if they're a motorcycle club, they're not doing anywhere near the speed limit.
No, and if I see them coming up behind me, I go faster just so that I'm as far away from them.
I
give them plenty of room.
And that's it.
And I would never pass a group of motorcycles riding.
No, never. Especially when you're on a motorcycle. Don't even think or don't ride with them.
No.
None of that.
I know. I see. These are rules. I'm not even in the gang, and I know. I'm kind of in it.
Maybe some people think it's okay, and I've seen so many people literally pull their car and like go right in the middle of a group of like 20, 30 bikes, and then you're crazy.
This is all very insightful. So people who don't know, when you see a lot of motorcycles and guys wearing vests, give them room. Don't pass them. They are not inconveniencing you. Yeah. You let them go. They go first.
They have their own things, their own rules, and they're not paying attention to you or your rules.
Right. They are truly the last modern day cowboys. They really are. That's absolutely true.
Yep. They just kind of do their own thing, and as long as you don't cross, everything's great. I mean, they do a lot of charity work and all kinds of stuff.
back in our radio days in Georgia, how many biker guys that we run into, and they were every single one of them, always the nicest guy you would ever run into, would do anything for you. I would still to this day feel safe around any of them.
Yes,
absolutely, because I know
quite a few and never had a bit of problem.
No,
but I don't.
They will do anything for you until you fuck up, and then. It's the other way around. There's no real middle ground there.
Yeah, I've seen every once in a while I'll see something, usually in Florida, which is crazy, but it does make sense where somebody comes over and I've seen them got mad and came kind of trying to push over and wouldn't get over the way, and he actually ended up hitting
Oh,
a back of a motorcycle. And
Oh, that guy's dead
the girl
now.
in the back was like wearing shorts and flip flops. So of course, when she went down, all kinds of and that guy, I said, they cut the filming after that. But it's like I know that guy did not come out of there very good. They didn't wait to call the police. They handled business. It's like insane. It's like, what is wrong with you?
so there's a new book out right now, and I would love to get this guy on our podcast, but we aren't what's the word, successful or known.
Yeah.
He wrote a book. I watched him. It might have been on Joe Rogan, and the name of the book is "Infiltrating Hate: The Secret World of This FBI Undercover Agent." I mean, this guy was deep under, and he's a big dude. He's like 6'4", 6'5", 290 pounds, and he just kind of worked his way into this motorcycle gang to where he became an enforcer for them.
Oh, wait a minute. You're talking about the guy? You're talking about the guy in Wilton Manors, right?
Scott Payne. I don't know if he was.
He was.
No. He was in Texas, and then he was
okay.
then he was in Connecticut or Rhode Island or Massachusetts, and then because he was posing as somebody who could take care of stolen cars, who could get you money for stolen cars. So
Okay.
that's how he felt, and he gives this great interview on Rogan about how these guys really did become his very close friend. He cared about these people, but he knew what his job was, and he's like, my job was to betray my friends and send my friends to prison, which is what I did, and I have to live with that. And he just he tells the most interesting stories about everything that happened during the neo-Nazi biker gang infiltration by the FBI. And he was a great FBI agent too. The guy's got a wife and kids.
Wow. Yeah, there was a guy that was similar to that, was that infiltrated the I think it was in or somebody down there in Wilton Manors.
He might have been in Florida for a little while, but that was a minor part of his life. But he gives,
Right.
It was about a 3-hour and 15-minute interview on Rogan it's probably about a month ago now. Maybe it's just, here it is, March 28th, he was on Rogan. And he spent 25 years undercover for the FBI, infiltrating outlaw biker gangs, neo-Nazi groups, and he told a quick story about how he infiltrated a pedophile ring, and he was like, "Oh man, I am not built for that," because that was something that was hard for him to control. Looking at these people, yeah, I mean, the guy had a very difficult job. He even goes into detail about how he met up with who was his best friend in the biker gang after he got out of prison, and he was just like, I don't know what to say to this guy, I mean, I know his wife, and I'm godfather to his son, and and I sent this guy to prison, and it's just a fascinating story. And
That's a really weird.
if you get a couple 3 hours, I had to watch it in different different times. It took me about 3 days to watch it, but watch it in pieces, and then when you get distracted, just pick it back up where you left off, because I promise you, it is one of the most interesting stories I've ever heard.
I can't even imagine.
And
Yeah,
I need to read this guy's book. I should probably just order his book.
That's crazy. I don't even know how it's.
Yeah, exactly. See, you sound exactly like him. He's just like,
Yeah.
I can't believe that I had to do all this, but this is what my job was. That's what I signed up for.
Right.
And, I was obviously built for it and had the mentality for it and the personality for it, and I was very good at it. And now he, I guess, is retired, and he teaches classes now for the FBI on how to be undercover and, what to do and how to be safe. He talks about a couple of close scrapes that he had. He left all the good stuff out of the Joe Rogan interview for the book. I can't imagine what's in that book based on this amazing interview he gave. I mean, if it's better than this interview, the book has to just be outstanding.
Yeah.
So I do have to.
Yeah, I guess he would have to leave the really good stories, otherwise there's no sense of buying it.
Right. Right.
Because
but-
Rogan is not a 20-minute interview.
No, and Rogan is I tend to watch a lot of his stuff, and he talks a lot. In this interview, Rogan didn't say shit. This guy Scott Payne did all the talking, and Rogan was just like sitting there with his mouth open, like holy shit. Like that's about as much as Rogan said the entire interview because it was that compelling. Yeah, but the guy's name is Scott Payne. And it's episode 2295 if you want to go and look that. Write that down because you write things down all the time that you don't ever do.
Yeah.
And let's see if you'd actually. So you can listen to this in the car. You can put it in your headphones and listen to it when you're.
Oh, I
in
know.
your
It's good. The podcasts are pretty good because I use them to. I use them when I go to the gym now and stuff. It's.
Oh, that's perfect then. And you know what? You can lay on your back in a fetal position and listen. If you really wanted to. I don't recommend that, but you can.
Yeah, I will when my back hurts. It saves me the $75 at the chiropractor.
I refused. I don't like chiropractors. I went to one chiropractor when we were living in Macon, and I was like, all right, I feel a lot better. Never doing that again. It's the last time.
Didn't feel better?
I did feel better, and it was terrifying, and it's still terrifying to me.
Oh, okay.
I know.
It was, I got a good one here, but he's like, he doesn't try to milk you like to stay for it. He wants you to get fixed and get out.
Hey, I have a really good friend of mine. One of my car friends I've known for 25 years is a chiropractor, and he's very successful, very good. He keeps telling me, he's like, just come see me. I will fix you, and I promise you I won't kill you. I like you. I wouldn't kill you. Like, yeah, but you would paralyze me. He's like, I'm not going to paralyze you. He's like,
it's kind of scary to let people do that stuff, though. You're right.
And he's very funny. He's like, I've hardly paralyzed anybody. Oh, that makes me feel
that's
a
always
lot
a good
better,
one.
Doc. Thanks a lot, buddy. Should we take a break here on that paralysis story?
Yeah. Then we'll come back and do a couple of these things here about growing up and see how many of these things that you've done and see what the payoff was.
Oh, BuzzFeed quiz next.
Erica and Mark. The phone call.
All right, so these are things that they said that would never fly in today's things with children.
So things that are going to be normal to us that today's kids would say. I don't think so.
The first one I came up with, I thought was kind of interesting, was
I have a
riding in the
lawyer.
back of a pickup.
Oh, my daughter would do that.
I know that, but I mean, like,
Yeah, that's not normal anymore, is it?
no, I mean, you never see that anymore.
No.
Matter of fact, it's weird because when I see a dog in the back, I go, why is that dog back there? It's like,
God,
why?
they got to you too, is what it sounds like.
It's like, these are things that I thought, like, yeah, I never, when my dad had a pickup truck, we loved to ride in the back.
Yeah, that was just, I mean, if it was summertime or the weather's nice, hop in the back of the truck. It's nice back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. A million times.
So that's
You always,
something that's...
you always get something in your eye back there, though. You got to keep your eyes squinted.
Another thing they were talking about is like things that are in cars, like we have now. We have airbags and seatbelts and all. We didn't even have back in the day, I don't remember even having a headrest.
Car seats were invented when my sister was born in the early 70s. I remember my sister having a car seat, and we were like, my brother didn't have car seats. What's this? Why she get her own
I think you're
little
right.
bucket seat?
I think my brother was a car seat baby.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
My mom
like
would just
my
hold me
sister, I
when I
think,
was
was
an
born
infant.
in 72 or 73, 72. So that was right around when car seats became a thing.
Yeah, I remember sitting in the back, and when my sister was born, she's 5 years younger than me, but when I was sitting in the back in a seat, and then my mom was sitting in the front holding my sister,
Yeah.
and my dad was had a cigarette rolling and a glass of scotch.
You know, now that I think about it, my little brother and I, we weren't that much older than our sister, but we didn't have car seats, but she sure did. Interesting. Interesting.
This is one of my favorite ones, where you leave kids alone.
Oh,
Back
yeah.
in the day, remember? Do you remember when what we used to call the walk-in theaters would have cartoons during the middle in the daytime?
Yep.
And you get just dropped off at the movie theater at
Go
5,
watch
6, 7
cartoons.
years old and watching
Yep.
cartoons.
Yep.
While your mom walked around the mall.
I'm Gen X, so my parents were always working, so I learned how to cook dinner. That's how I learned how to make pizza when I was like 10 years old. I can still make a great pizza. I make pizza. I make spaghetti. I could make chicken in the oven because my mom would buy this frozen Swanson chicken, so I knew how to make that. And fake potatoes, we called them, which are just instant potatoes. And because I was the oldest, that's what I did. I would make dinner once in a while, and nobody thought anything of it.
Yeah, when I was in
Mom and
middle
Dad will
school,
be home by
I was actually
6, 7
prepping
o'clock.
for dinner and stuff like that. Yeah, because my mom and dad both
no,
work.
Yeah, it was a normal thing, and on the weekends they would they left us with a babysitter when we were really little. But by the time I was probably 9 or 10, my parents actually trusted me with my little brother and sister.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no, I didn't. I didn't have to babysit till I was in high school. But man, in middle school, I still had a babysitter.
Yeah,
With my
we never
brother and
burned
sister.
we never burned the house down. We never, we kind of just watch TV or, we kind of stay out of trouble.
This is one of my favorite ones. We talk to people not to talk to strangers or whatever, but there would be men that would come and knock on our door selling things like
Yeah,
Funkin' Wagnall encyclopedias.
door-to-door salesman.
Or yeah, and we would let them in.
It was still a thing. Hey, check out this vacuum cleaner.
We would let them in.
Oh my God.
It was okay for them to come in. We didn't even know who they were.
Yeah, we didn't do that. Now there was. Now here's something that would blow all these kids' minds. You know how everybody's, I'm scared that my child's going to be kidnapped and taken away by some child molester. Well, we weren't scared of that because my dad knew where these two child molesters lived, and he was like, "You see that house right?" He would stop in front of the house with my brother and sister. Like, "You see that house right there? You don't go there during trick or treat. You don't go there ever because the guy who lives there is going to touch you and do bad things to your privates. You stay away from him. You stay away from that house.
Wow.
Don't go anywhere near it."
Straight up talk.
And normally that would make a kid say, "Oh, I'm curious now, see what's up." But we were like, "Yes, sir. Nope. Don't want nothing to do with that. We are good. Thank you for the warning. On it."
Yeah, if you just say stay away from that house, that means you need to go see why.
Yeah, that was one of those times where we knew he was not
Once
kidding.
you add weird crap to it, it's done.
Yeah, we knew he was not kidding, and it's just like, okay, yeah, no, I don't want that for myself either, Dad. Thank you for the warning. Jesus.
And then we were like,
that would blow a kid's mind today.
Kids would go, like when we were kids, we would be gone, and our parents had no way to contact us, nor had any idea where we were.
Well, yeah, the kids always see these memes on Facebook and everywhere of, back in my day, my parents thought that I was walking down to the corner to go to the store. But in the meantime, I was 10 miles away on my bike, starting fires in the woods with my friends. And that's exactly what we were doing. Yeah. We were riding on the busy road with all the big trucks, a little 2-lane road. And
Yeah.
we didn't care. And none of us ever got killed, not once.
No. And we knew there was one rule. When a street light came on,
Yeah.
it was time to come in.
Yeah, see, we didn't have street lights. I'm from the country. I had a
Or the
farm
porch
across.
light.
I had a farm across the road from my house, and we had hilly. I lived in a very hilly, mountainy area, and you couldn't see nothing if you were down in the woods. But we knew where we were in the woods. It could be the middle of the night, and there was no getting lost in those woods. We knew every inch of those woods for miles and miles.
Oh,
I did set a beaver dam on fire one time with my friend Tommy. It was mostly his fault.
With beavers in it?
I assume. I don't know. There was this big
no.
beaver dam, and it was me and Tommy and my little brother. And Tommy was he was the same age as me. He's kind of a bad kid. He was the adopted kid to the nice family.
Yeah.
And Tommy he thought it would be fun to start a little fire in this dry grass, and then like put it out with his jean jacket. And then, we did that, and he's like, "Oh, we can make a bigger fire than that. And we'll still have time to put it out." So we did it again, and the fire got bigger. And then we still put it out. It's like, we are masters of fire. And then we started another fire, and that got out of control real fast.
God.
And the three of us couldn't put it out, and so we had to run. And the next thing we know, we hear the fire department coming down the dirt road because they had to drag their asses all the way into the woods where that beaver dam was to... that was again.
And a volunteer fire department on top of that.
Yes, it was. They got like an hour later. These guys all show up.
Yes,
to put
because
up
they're pissed because they just left dinner.
That's right. Yeah, and 3 of them were drunk. That's that's what the volunteer firemen were back then. And you knew all of them. That was always oh yeah, that's Kevin's dad. Oh yeah, that's so and so's dad.
Right.
It was always somebody's dad, and they never caught us. We never got pinched for that one.
You know where? Do you remember where Rock Island Road was?
No,
Okay. So
In
okay,
Fort- in
you don't
Fort Myers
remember
or
where
Fort
North
Lauderdale?
Lauderdale was?
kinda, yeah.
Over that way, 441.
Vaguely.
You know, which was the main highway. That was
Yeah.
State Road 7. Anyway, so we lived we lived west of State Road 7, 441, and lived in a town. It was called Kimberly Village. It was it was before they became put a bunch of developments together, called it a city. And then if you went down to Rock Island Road,
Yeah. What about it?
okay, you go past that,
Yeah.
just a little bit past that, it was the Everglades. The University Drive, none of that was around. It was already Everglades
Right.
there. So
Yeah,
we would
everything.
ride our bikes to the-
Fort Lauderdale was bordered by. If you went to the Sawgrass Expressway, the next stop was the Everglades on the other side of the Sawgrass Expressway.
Yeah, well, when I was there, that's all that was still the Everglades.
Ah, okay.
It was
That
the big,
so-
it was all marshland. So you would ride your bike to the right to the line,
Yeah.
and you just drop. Of course, never use a kickstand. Just drop it right there, and then start walking into the back, and then go looking for. We were always looking for skeletons, animal carcasses, skeletons like snakes and stuff like that, and we were always
Ew.
looking for like Our biggest thing was we were trying to find rattlers.
Did you ever find anything interesting, like a rattler?
No, but we did actually find some arrowheads,
Oh, wow. Okay.
which was kind of cool. Yeah, that was like a big discovery for us. So, you know, you're 6th, 7th grade. That was like, you were like
a big deal.
Magellan at that point.
I'm pretty much an archaeologist. Get me a corncob pipe and a hat.
Yeah, so it was, but that was the closest we came to woods there was it was the Everglades, because everything else was built up around us. You know, or
So you
cow
were like
pastures,
South.
That's about it.
You were like South Florida Jones.
Okay, here's one.
Yeah.
Smoking in school. There was actually cigarette machines at school. Do you remember that? I remember you could smoke at school. Teachers smoked in the teachers' lounge when I was in high school. And we would, I didn't smoke back then. I didn't smoke till I was 18. But you could smoke. People were smoking at school. Kids were smoking.
Right.
That's something that you don't see anymore. Are you looking something up? Have you gone in? Has my internet died again? Can you not hear me? I kept it rolling.
What in the hell is up with your
I
internet?
kept it rolling.
What is up with your internet? Nope, you are just not there. Connection is
audio.
unstable.
There you are.
No,
Okay.
you-
I kept it rolling.
Yeah, you are in and out there, buddy.
Must be the internet at this time. I'm looking at my Wi-Fi connect. Doesn't seem like it's moving or doing anything wrong, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm getting about every fifth word from you.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna go. I'll clean that up. I already wrote it down so I can clean it up.
All right.
All right. Let's go ahead and get. Let's just go ahead and get one more in here, and then we'll wrap things up.
Hold on. Let's try this. I'm gonna hang up on you here. Hang on.
Okay. Okay.
How's that? Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Can't hear you yet.
Dude, your internet is totally fucked. Can't hear you at all.
Can't hear anything.
Nope. All right, I'm going to do this.
Still can't hear you.
Just going to call you on the goddamn phone.
Why is it not answering?
The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone.
Answer your phone.
Try it again. I tried.
Not good.
Doing it again? I can't, it's not picking up on my phone for some reason.
There you are. I got you.
Yeah, I know, but this is on my phone though.
Yeah, I know, because your Wi-Fi is not working. Your Wi-Fi is
the
terrible.
Wi-Fi die again?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything after I called you back. Nothing.
Okay, yeah, I tried to answer it and it was like I was talking, but it didn't, I could see it, but I could.
Can you plug your? Can you just listen in the phone for the rest of this?
Yeah.
All right. So where do you want to pick it up?
Let's just go to this. We're gonna go ahead. We'll kind of wrap it up here because
Okay.
actually got about 40 minutes worth of stuff in there.
Okay, yeah, that's
and
fine.
I can throw
All
a
right.
what do you call it on there?
Yeah, a rerun bit. Yeah.
Or something. Yeah, I can throw a bit in there afterwards.
All right.
All right. So, so where were we? We were talking about what were we
You were talking about being Indiana. Florida Jones is the last thing that I was able
Okay.
to say to you. I didn't hear anything after that.
All right. All right. I'll take off.
I am still rolling, by the way.
Okay, me too.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and I guess that's about the Explorer of it. Oh wait, try it again. I guess that's about the most of it. I never really had a place where I could go out in the woods. We never lived anywhere in the woods until I got older. But
So were you worried about getting kidnapped by roving gangs or weirdos or anything?
No, I never.
No?
No, I don't know. I guess because I was allowed to be a kid. Like my parents didn't. They just let me grow up as slow as I wanted to, which could be dangerous because.
Yeah. I don't remember being scared of being kidnapped by anybody because back in our day, people looked at kids as burdens. It's like, who wants another one of those around? Why would anybody even steal one of those?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand anything about that at all, and I don't remember. Well, I don't know. We just didn't have a lot of craziness. Like maybe it's because our parents weren't so scared either.
Well, our parents only vaguely remembered from time to time that they had children, so there was that. Our generation of kids, of parents, though, helicopter.
My dad remembered who I was when I would come home with a C. I tell you that.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. As soon as it was report card time, they knew your name.
He remembered me now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
They knew
that's
your
that
first
number one
name and your
son.
middle name, and yeah. Well, I guess you're not getting an allowance for a while with all these D's. Yeah, I guess not.
Oh gosh. Oh
Yeah.
man. Well, what do you say we?
Let's
Well,
wrap
I'm
it
gonna
up.
go find an old radio bit that you sent me. We'll wrap it up with that, and then we'll
All right.
let these people go.
Technically, I still have to go to work. I've been on my lunch hour here for the last 45 minutes.
That's right.
so
I keep forgetting you are actually. This is actually a working day for you.
I should probably go eat and
Yes.
then maybe do a little work if I
And
have
then
to.
get your work done.
They do
how
pay
bad
me,
is it? Because
so.
it's a holiday weekend. This is when the salespeople get to leave early, but they leave you with a ton of crap.
9 logs. I got 9 logs to do.
Yeah, and then
9.
Did they bring any spots in last minute and had to be cut?
You know what? If they do, tough shit. Because I don't play that.
Good, because I remember it used to come into like copy changes and stuff, and it's like, man, let's just
Yeah.
extend it till unless it's a a specific thing for this weekend. Why can't you just extend it? We can fix that on
Radio, no,
Maybe
radio's
get
very
back.
different from TV. Radio's like, or TV's like radio for grown-ups. If a salesperson comes in at the last minute on a Friday, it's like, okay, we'll talk about this on Monday. Oh no, I need it now. The client wants to see it now. Well, when does it air? Well, we don't know. We'll talk about this next week. And
Nice.
But in radio, it's like, you better get this done right now. But they don't need it until after Christmas. I don't care, but it's Christmas Eve, sir. Get it done now, hand.
Yeah, then they really are that
Yeah,
way. I mean,
that's
it's just
that's
ridiculous.
exactly how it was. They just don't care. I remember I heard a general manager talking to somebody about radio, and he was like, "Oh, all these DJs, fuck them. Those guys all eat their own young. You can do whatever you want to them. There's always more." And it's like, oh.
Yeah, they really did not. I seen that change in, well, right there in the '90s. You could when Clinton signed that thing that said they could do.
Oh, the
whatever they
telecom,
wanted
yeah,
to do.
yeah. Oh no, this was in the '80s. I heard a GM say that. That
Oh,
was when I
wow.
was young.
Even back then,
and I was
they
like,
didn't care.
yeah, I was like, oh, I may have picked the wrong thing to choose for a career.
Maybe it's just back in that day I was still new and just thought that the world was still a little perfect.
No, I just think all the general managers were drunk with power and you know
Yeah.
and drunk in real life and didn't care.
No, they
And
were
just
they were like the I don't think I've ever met a GM that wasn't like a car salesman.
I have had 3 GMs in my life who have been great and nothing like car salesmen. I can think of 3 of them, but that's it. The rest of them,
Yeah, I could
some
think
of them
a
are
cou- I
great,
could-
but
I
still
could
car
about 2 or 3
salesmen.
of them myself. Yeah.
Yeah, God, one of them's dead now. Will Douglas, the guy that hired me in Sarasota, he is the guy who just understood everything because he was he went to college at Gainesville. He worked at WRUF at Rock 104. And then he did mornings on rock stations in California and Texas, and then he became a program director. And then he also did little sales on the side, and then they made him the general manager. So he understood everything. He even understood how to deal with the engineers. He thought engineers were amusing because he was kind of like me. He kind of like knew just enough to be dangerous.
Oh.
And the engineer knew, when he could bullshit the general manager, and the general manager's going to say, "Come on, man. You're not talking to an to a sales guy here." Okay, you're right. Yeah, that was a good general manager right there. That was the best general manager I ever had.
I know I saw one of the salespeople we had was actually came off the air and to be go into sales, and he was the one that was always trying to get everybody to try to get the general manager to stop paying the remote talent fees. And make it part of our salary. It's like, what
Mutiny.
do you do with that money?
It's a mutiny.
And
Yeah, he's
then I
going to keep
found
that
out
money
they
for
were
himself. That's
charging-
yeah.
Ready for this? That same place was charging $150 an hour and paying us $50.
Ooh, man, I just wouldn't have done it.
You know how I
just
found
wouldn't
out?
have done it.
I
would have said, "Hey, I have to go get a second job on the weekends and at night. I'm not available for remotes."
They slipped and accidentally somebody said something about the 100. You guys are getting $150. I said, "No, we're not." And they looked.
Oh,
at
the client busted him, huh?
yeah.
That's funny.
And it was like, oh, really? Because we're only getting 50.
Yeah. Back in our day, we would make the clients pay us directly. Remember
Yes.
that?
Yes.
That was
And then they
allegedly.
wanted to do you a favor, and they wanted to, for your benefit, take care of your taxes for you. Like you
Sure,
wanted to be able
right.
to file a W-9 on your own.
Right. Oh, this is we're doing this for you. Okay. Why don't you let me worry about me? I'll worry about me. You worry about not me. How about that?
Honestly, if you had a good shift, or you had a good listener group, or you had like when we did mornings, if you had a decent partner, somebody you could get, and then it was all like during that 4-hour block, it was like everything just.
It was great. Yeah, it was great.
And then
Radio's the
you
best
didn't
thing
even know why you
ever.
were there.
Right. Radio's the best thing ever when it's good, and then the other 99% of the time it's the worst.
Yeah. It's usually only good during the 4 hours you're on the air, unless you have somebody
Right.
telling you what to say all the time.
Right. I've never been good at that.
All right, we're going to play a bit from when we were at Q106 in Macon, Georgia, not that long ago.
This is terrible. You should stop listening to the podcast right now. Just
3
hang it up.
decades.
Go listen to something else. Mark, have a nice week.
All right, you too.
It is 9:40 right now. It's our last show. We've got about 20 minutes to go. We're not going to forget the Smoke Two Joint song. How about we go out with the Smoke Two Joint song? Give me this disco.
No, well, let's put
Jennifer.
Oh, yay!
Jennifer wants to hear a disco record. Hold on.
the last song
Oops. I'm doing it again. Excuse me. I'm just not used to working with records. You want to hear "Baby I Love You"?
No, the other one.
You want to hear "Let's Go Party"?
No, that's not right. Then
I'm your boogeyman.
yeah, that's what everybody knows.
I'm your boogeyman.
Is "Get Down" tonight on here, or is that Casey and the Sunshine Band?
No,
not on
that's
here.
KC, but that's not the same record. That's not the greatest hits. That's one of the 4 they put out one after another every month.
Okay. You're gonna have to forgive me here because I can't see anything here.
No, I'll go ahead and stall for a little while. Today you're going to find mostly cloudy skies with a chance of thunder showers and showers. Matter of fact, there's a flash flood warning in effect.
Flash flood watch.
Watch, excuse me.
Warning means
Watch,
it's happening.
yeah.
Watch means
Watch
it's
means
potential.
watch it happen.
We have a lot of rain today.
Yes, I do. I've got one from Florida.
Okay. For Jennifer from Hooters, Jennifer, here's your Casey and the Sunshine Band. She has her dog, whose name is Disco, here in the studio with her, and now she's making Disco dance.
Are you going to dance for us, Jennifer?
Oh,
Do a
my
quick
God.
little dance for us.
Go ahead. All right. You know, this is probably a more visual thing than anything.
It's pretty damn visual, though,
Yeah.
for us. We like it.
Cute little Shih Tzu here, just dancing around the studio to
Be
Casey.
careful how you say that dog's name.
Yeah, I said it correctly. Jennifer, this is all the disco I can handle for one lifetime right here. I'm sorry. Thank you. It's 9:42. Let's play some cool music. It's Dave Matthews Band on Q106.
Erica and Mark. The phone call.